What's up, boys? I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be ranking every single part of JoJo in order of my least to favorite. Quick note, there will be no major manga spoilers in this video. There will be spoilers for parts 1 through 5, because that's anime already, but parts 6 through 8 I will refrain from any spoilers, but there will be some spoilers maybe on Stan, so if you consider that a spoiler, please click off this video. Lastly, make sure to like and subscribe if you like what you see, because it really helps out my channel a lot. And yeah, anyways, let's get right into it. So, coming in at number 8, we have Phantom Blood. First off, I just don't think Phantom Blood really isn't greatly interesting. And also, you have to look at this, it's not a bad part. I don't think any parts are bad by any means. I like every single part of JoJo. But just this part, it just can't hold up to any of the other parts. Probably because it was the first, and everything else just is so much better. Everything else has more stands, even though you don't need stands for it to be good, as a later entry on this list will prove. But, I do feel that it just can't hold up to the later standards and parts. And that's why I'd rate Phantom Blood at number 8. Anyways, coming in at number 7, we have Stone Ocean. Again, like Phantom Blood, it just doesn't hold up to the other parts and how great it is. But just one thing, setting it way above any other part, is just how great the ending is. The ending was so well done. So that is why I'm going to be placing Stone Ocean at number 7. Next up, coming in at number 6, we have Stardust Crusaders. The main problem I have with Stardust Crusaders is just how repetitive it gets. That's the main thing keeping it down. It's just it gets way too repetitive at times, and it just gets a bit boring. Now, let's look at a few positives of Stardust Crusaders. You can't really mention Stardust Crusaders without mentioning how great the group dynamic, which really carried this part. A lot of other things were great about it, but the group dynamic was just so perfect in this part, and I love it so much. Also, another big point about Stardust Crusaders, it was our first introduction to stands. That's why I don't think the stands are quite at par with what comes later on, but it was the first part, and it feels very nostalgic to me, even though I watched it very recently. It just feels like a nostalgic part. Another thing you cannot not mention about Stardust Crusaders is Jotaro Kujo, who is easily one of my favorite JoJos, especially in the development department. He's just an amazing JoJo with a very cool personality, and it gets even better later on. Speaking of Jotaro, you cannot not mention the final fight between Jotaro and Dio, which is definitely one of the best in the whole entire series. So, coming in at number 5, we have Battle Tendency. A huge highlight of Battle Tendency is just the characters in it. Caesar and Joseph are two of my favorite characters in JoJo in general, and it's just such a well-made part, and everything is great. Some of the villains are great, and I'll get into it a bit more in a bit. Another major thing holding Battle Tendency down is Cars being the main villain. He's not such a great villain, but then to make up for Cars, we also have Wamu, who is easily my favorite side villain in all of JoJo. He's I actually liked him in the end, mostly I don't like villains at the end because they just make me mad. But Wamu is just, I really felt his death. It was cool, and I liked it. You cannot mention Battle Tendency without mentioning the man himself, Joseph Joestar. Easily number 1 or 2 of my favorite JoJos. Number 1 or 2 is also, it's between him and Josuke from part 8. But I just love Joseph so much. He's very funny, he's really good to relate to, and old Joseph is gold. Joseph and Caesar's also some of the best teamwork in just duos in general in all of JoJo, and Caesar's death hit me so hard, especially the music look, making part 2 a very memorable part. Coming in at number 4, we have Golden Wind. The first thing I love about Golden Wind is I actually think JoJo really shines in this department, is the great group dynamic between Passione. It's just so great to watch. Also, La Squadra's group dynamic, it's just so good how JoJo does its group dynamic. Also, Golden Wind brought to the table some of the best stands in all of JoJo. easily very, very good in terms of stands, especially looking at the main Passione, main gang, Traders Requiem, whatever you call them. Their stands were all amazing, and I like pretty much every single one of them. You can't forget about Giorno and the great ending he caused. He is very overpowered. In most cases, I don't like very overpowered cases. But Giorno just really, really was a good example of it. It was amazing. Coming in at number 3, we have Diamond is Unbreakable. First off, you cannot mention Diamond is Unbreakable without the amazing, amazing mystery that happens. And within all of it, it's just so perfect. When the ending comes together, it's just such a good part. Another big highlight of Diamond is Unbreakable is Yoshikage Akira being easily like my second or first favorite villain in all of JoJo, coming second only to Funny Valentine. Also, they get so many side characters, gave them a lot of moments to shine, and also Josuke really brought the same energy that young Joseph did in Battle Tendency. So moving on to number 1 and 2, they're both very interchangeable. I think you guys already know what they are. Both parts I think are very highly of. I can't really spoil too much of them because they're both manga parts, and both of them are very, very interchangeable. And also, if you've noticed, almost every part I spoke very highly of, it's because I just love every part so much. So coming in at number 2, we have Steel Ball Run. There's just so much to talk about in this part that's so great. But, of course, first I gotta mention Johnny Joestar being one of my favorite JoJos and a lot of development over the part. Everyone says they don't like him because he kind of seems like a jerk, but the whole point is that he changes a lot throughout the part, and I really like Johnny because of it. Also, Steel Ball Run brings my favorite character in all of JoJo, hands down, Gyro Zeppeli, favorite JoBro, favorite character in general. Also, Steel Ball Run easily brings some of the best stands to the table. Also, the villain is very, very, very good, and he's my favorite villain, tied with Kira. But Funny Valentine is one of my favorite, and his stand is amazing. Also, this kind of goes hand in hand with the plot, but they actually do Stand of the Week very, very, very good, and it all flows very well. And of the Stand of the Week, they have some of the best side villains in all of JoJo. Like, some of the minor villains are some of the best in the whole series. Just in characters, too. Moving on to number 1. You all kind of saw this coming, seeing as how highly I spoke of it in the last chapter review, is JoJolion. If you couldn't tell, I really like mysteries, and JoJolion is just such a great mystery. It's really captivating. I can't reveal much about it because it would spoil it, but it is such a great mystery, especially talking about the one including Gappy's identity is such a great conclusion to it, and it's just so perfect. Next, Josuke/Gappy is easily my favorite JoJo, tied with Joseph a bit there, but he is so good, which also ties into how great just the characters are in JoJolion. So good. The stands are also very well thought out. They're so strange. It's such a good, strange plot, which really just shows JoJo at its peak, as bizarre as it is, and that's the point. I feel like it really also brings in the Steel Ball Run formula of Stand of the Week back, and it's also a throwback to one of my favorite parts in all of JoJo, Diamond is Unbreakable. So anyways, that's where I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed this, because this was a very fun video to make, and I saw you guys really enjoyed the JoJolion chapter review, so I'm going to keep pumping those out when new chapters come out. And anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.